The year was 2005 in Poughkeepsie, New York, and I had just given birth to my daughter, Isabella. I was at a crossroads in my life because I was miserable in my marriage. I prayed to God, God, help, help. And in that moment, something miraculous happened. I looked upon the mantle above the fireplace, and there stood a clay couple figurine that had been planted there some years earlier when life felt good and right. And in that moment, life did not feel good and right. And in that moment of deep prayer, this clay couple dove to their death upon the hardwood floor. But that's not the most incredible part of this story. The most incredible part of this story is when I went over and scooped up that clay couple and noticed there was a break in this clay couple. The man's head had been decapitated. And I knew in that moment of deep prayer, I must let him go. That was the past, and this is the present. And almost 2 decades later, I remember with such vividness that moment, the sunset orange colored walls. I remember the blue spruce trees reaching the bright blue sky. I remember the black wandering cat named Pandy. I remember the exhaustion of motherhood. And I remember feeling as if I were in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person. But that was the past. This is the present part of the story. And so in this present moment, I take a deep breath. And I feel grateful. I feel grateful for every moment of the last 20 years that has brought me here to this place where I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive. And I let go of all the stories of the past because the stories of the past no longer serve me. If I hold on to the stories of the past, I'm not able to move forward into who I'm meant to be in this moment and in the future. And so I learned how to release these stories. I wrote and I released and I wrote and I released and I cried and I forgave and I cried and I forgave. So much so that I published 2 books about my journey of self-discovery and healing. But I let go of those stories. I had to let go of those stories. But what I brought with me were the lessons, the golden nuggets of wisdom that I needed to learn over the 47 years of my life. And that was, know myself, love myself, trust myself. And in this moment, I am grateful. The future. As I ponder imminently becoming an empty nester, I wonder, who will I be in the future? When I release these children off into the world, who am I? Who am I without the identity as a mom? And I am trusting. I'm trusting. And I pray, God, show me. What am I meant to do? Who am I meant to be? Who am I meant to serve? How can I take what I have learned in my life and make this world a better place? And I vision the future. And as I vision the future, I can't help but remember the past and all the memories of motherhood come rushing back in. I remember selling my home in Buffalo, New York. I remember packing up my toddlers into a U-Haul and taking 2 weeks to drive cross-country to Boulder, Colorado. I remember the very first time I took them to Rocky Mountain National Park, and my 3-year-old youngest daughter, Malia, determined to set up that tent, and she did. I remember the moments of uncertainty and despair and heartache. Will my daughter make it through the night with her wheezing and asthma? And all these memories come flooding back in, and I'm grateful. And the question is, who am I without them? When they're off flying into the world, what will I discover about myself? And I pray, God, show me the way, and I trust my inner knowing, and I trust my inner wisdom, and I trust that I will be shown how I am meant to serve in this world, and who I am meant to be next in this world. And I take the lessons of loving myself and knowing myself forward with me into the future. And I know that there will be moments of falling, like the clay couple. There will be moments of flying, like teenagers, off to college and career. There will be moments of breathing in the stillness and remembering my truth. I know that my future is filled with love. Love is where we are all meant to be, and I hold this vision of love for all of us.